Hello everyone. I'm not sure how you found this recording. It would either have been in a podcast or a YouTube video. In any event, welcome. I'd perhaps like to start off by saying this podcast and meditation is going to be far from perfect. And I know that because this is probably if this was a movie, this would be take 150 or something like that, just because that's how many times I began this recording and pressed the delete button. Well, anyway, it's been about a week since the UK pretty much shut down following the coronavirus alerts, and I guess I've been searching for the perfect time to begin this recordings. But bearing in mind that I live in a tiny little cottage in Kent in the United Kingdom, a little cottage which I share with my partner, my son, and our 3 cats. It's been a little bit challenging finding that moment of privacy and silence which would enable me to create such a recording. In any event, today I woke up before the house woke up. I woke up before the human beings in the house woke up, but not before the cats, and decided to make this recording. I do hope all of you are well, and I'll perhaps begin with a little bit about myself. I've pretty much been involved in the voluntary sector from a very young age, from my school days, and finally wound up training to be a lawyer, a barrister, and working in the corporate world for a very brief period, but returned to the voluntary sector, the non-profit sector, because of my love and passion for that area. And for those of you who are unsure of what the non-profit and voluntary sector means, it simply means the charitable sector, where I worked in various non-governmental organizations, dealing with everything from migrant workers and HIV/AIDS to harm reduction, and refugees, and gender issues. Something I'm extremely passionate about, working with marginalized communities, doing some advocacy, campaigning, and so much more. The coronavirus epidemic has affected almost every single one of us in ways I would not even begin to imagine. We have reached a point where our imagination has now taken over, fueled by the various news network, news websites, and other social media messages that have been bombarding our phones, computers, and tablets. There have been many changes that have affected each and every one of us. This appears to be a time of much changes that we have very little control over at this particular moment. And if there's anything these particular moments show us, it's that change is sometimes inevitable. Many of us derived our security from the certainty of particular aspects of our lives, the certainty and security that our jobs gave us, the certainty and security that if we ate healthy diets and exercised, we would be able to preserve our states of health. But everything appears to have changed with the introduction of this virus. And what this recording is about, the first step in making peace with our present moment. It's about nothing more than just finding a way to feel just a little bit better at this moment. I hope to be recording a series of meditations, secular meditations, which simply means they will not be affiliated to any particular religion. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are, whether you're an atheist, a Christian, a Buddhist, a Muslim, a Hindu. These are very simple practices designed to guide us into stepping outside of the thought process. The thought process, which are all those messages we've been bombarded with over the past few weeks, of fears about how this particular virus is going to affect our lives and those we love most. How many of these messages have resulted in us projecting our thoughts into the future, anticipating, worrying, creating scenarios, very often worst case scenarios, which either may or may not happen. The purpose of these recordings are to bring us back into this very moment, this particular moment that you find yourself in, wherever it is, listening to my voice, perhaps beginning with some very gentle reminders that right now in our lives, whether you've tested positive for this virus or not, things aren't as bad as we once believed them to be, because all that's happening right now is that you're either sitting, standing, or walking, or perhaps even lying down, listening to this recording. We can begin by being thankful that we have access to recordings such as this, whether it's YouTube videos, the internet, sometimes television, radio, and other forms of information, other forms of entertainment. And we can also remind ourselves that this pause in life has been an opportunity for the planet to catch its breath, to simply catch its breath, with pollution levels having reduced significantly, with traffic having reduced significantly, with business and commerce having taken a break and a pause, something which would have been inconceivable just weeks ago. We're beginning to realize how life can actually go on. We're beginning to recognize what our priorities are. And at this moment, could it be that our biggest priority would be our immune system, which is how we come back to these recordings which I am making. And so we are here now together to find ways in which to make peace with our present moment, to find ways in which we may get some form of relief from the continuous thought process, the projecting of the mind into a future full of uncertainties, and relief from our memories of the past and wanting things to return to the way they were. Both of these examples of how we resist this present moment. Our practice today is about allowing the present moment and making peace with it. A peace and sense of relief that will help us to simply let go, to simply relax, and just have a break from the constant chatter of the mind. In making peace with the present moment, we may find stillness, we may find silence, through which solutions may shine through. Solutions to some of the challenges, problems, and worries which have thus far been clouding our minds. Through the stillness that we will embrace through our various practices, there will be kindness. There will also be forgiveness. There will be patience and a deep understanding as to how we will most effectively move forward both in our lives, and in doing so may be in a better position to uplift, serve, and bring hope to all those around us.